Thank you for joining me in the early morning Solid Sports Video Blog episode 50, and today's date is August 18th, 2018. I'm Troy West, and thank you so much for watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. And it's my weekly sports blog every Saturday with the football season approaching. It'll be Saturdays and Wednesdays during the season. Doing a big NFL preview as well in the next few weeks. So I have all the details on that. But I just want to thank everybody for joining me. Doing the blog a little earlier this morning because I'll be busy today. It being Saturday morning. With work and just gonna be busy this weekend seeing my nieces, which I mentioned in this video, well, on my blog before. So we'll be pretty busy, so I said I get up early and knock the blog out this morning. But thank you everybody. It is approximately about 4:45 a.m. in the morning, which is early, so mind me if I miss the words or anything. But today, not like I said, quiet. Sports world is quiet during the summer, but baseball has some interesting things this week. The Marlins and Braves bench clearing thing. You know, I'm a Braves fan, so I'm definitely gonna go into that. The ironic thing is you see I got a Marlins hat on. I'm not a Marlins fan. I just like the colors. Like most of my fitteds that I wear, my hats that I wear is because of the colors or the design. So, you know, I mean, I know some people wear hats and stuff to represent their team, but most of the time I don't, even though I do be trying to have my team's hats and gear and stuff, but yeah, I'm not a major Marlins fan, by the way, so but I am going to touch on that subject. Just look around in the MLB, the league, NBA, nothing really going on. But we will talk about LeBron against Michael Jordan again. Topic that just won't die. NFL, nothing really going on there either. But the preseason kicked off good, so there's probably a lot more content to talk about in the NFL. Watched a little bit of preseason last night, and I have my top 5 safety list. This is the final position player list I will have before the season starts. And since it's episode 50, like I said, I'm going to have some fun facts about the number 50 in sports, so stay tuned for that at the end of the video. But let's get the MLB out the way. We're going to touch on that Marlins Braves bench clearing beef first. Me personally, about, like, you know, they got the baseball rules, unwritten baseball rules and stuff. I think that's a bunch of garbage. If I ever played in baseball, like, it's just, you know, I come at you like a man. I say they don't come at each other like men sometimes when they have disagreements or beefs. But that crap about hitting somebody with a baseball, and you know, if basically somebody hit a home run and showboats, you hit them and all that. I don't believe in that. I feel like if you don't want that to happen, strike them out or get them out. You know, that's where I stand on it. Like, it's just stupid. Ronald Acuña Jr. Luckily he didn't get hurt. Like I said, I've been trying to follow my Braves, but he's a rookie. He's been on fire. I think for 8 straight games, he hit a home run, period. But I think the last 3 games, I think pretty much the majority of it was against the Marlins. He had a leadoff home run because he's a leadoff hitter. And the Marlins was trying, I guess, they excuse it, they trying to throw him off his game. Aruna, the pitcher that hit him with the pitch, he got 6 games. You know, 6 games is not a lot for a starter pitcher. You basically missed one start. But still, they suspended him. MLB did, so maybe be trying to change the culture, but I just think the culture is stupid. And well, the quote, one of my favorite people in the sports world, Stephen A. Smith. I listen to his radio show. I also watch First Take pretty much every morning. But he was like, that's why baseball is struggling with keeping fans. Is basically, they have no fans that's young. So all they fans are, I think he said the average fan in baseball was like in the 50s. So that's not good. That's just common sense, not good. Like, basically, no offense, but all they fans want to die off. So once they die off, which I will do. So he said basically in 20 years, baseball is going to be irrelevant, and that's true if that's really the case. So, but like I said, I don't have a lot of people that I know that watch this baseball, like baseball. I don't want to make it a race thing because I think probably younger, any race people don't like baseball, but I like baseball because I grew up watching baseball, and and it is the same game it was probably basically in the 90s as well when I was growing up watching it. So, but I like sports period, but I grew up watching baseball, so like baseball is not. I see the periodness of the game, like you say, most of the problems people complain about how slow it is, and I don't care, that doesn't bother me. I just like the game of baseball. I really enjoy the game of baseball, so that's why I continue to watch and keep up with it. But yeah, a lot of people that I know do not like baseball, so that's why I always get that out the way first in my blogs, because that's probably the most thing nobody want to hear about. But yeah, that was ridiculous to me. Like I said, those unwritten baseball rules are annoying and stupid. And make you dead. I agree. Don't make you don't want to watch or deal with baseball. But hopefully, they suspended the pitcher, Aruna, for the Miami Marlins, so he gets 6 games. And luckily, Acuna didn't get hurt seriously. Excuse me. It would have been a big problem. And I would be upset as a Braves fan, and I was upset about it. So, but that issue is resolved for now. Other than we had the brawl last week with the Dodgers and the Giants, so we had 2 big brawls in 2 weeks. So, but that's more of a rivalry thing, the Giants and the Dodgers. Speaking of that, let's just stay on it. And speaking of my Braves, they still holding on to first place. Right now they passed the Phillies again. Trying to hold them out. The Phillies about a game and a half out. Last time I checked that, which was yesterday. Central still Cubs and Brewers. Cubs sort of pulled away a little bit. They had a big series against the Brewers and they won that series. So they got some separation in the West. I think Arizona's still on top, but Dodgers and Rockies still there. And the wild card sort of wide open in the National League more than it is in the American League, which we're about to talk about because the Boston Red Sox are just on fire. I'm starting to believe in them more. Like I said, it's like it don't matter what you're doing in the regular season, it's the playoffs. But if Price, his favorite pitcher, he's been pitching, Porcello, and Chris Sale is back healthy, and he had a sharp start his last outing. So Boston looking very formidable. New York Yankees, got a strong spot in the wild card. Late injuries. I think Judge is still on schedule to come back. I think I saw something. Excuse me, an article on Judge. I think he's supposed to come back on time. But they pitching is a Yankees starting pitcher to me, which is a suspect flaw in any game. Oakland A's continue to be on fire. Like I said, I can barely name it Oakland A. Robinson Cano came back. I thought he had more time, but he's back. But I believe that even though he's back, I don't think he qualified. Like, say if the Mariners make the playoffs, I think if you get suspended for PEDs, I think he's still ineligible for the playoffs. So that's unfortunate. for the Mariners, but they continue to play well as well in the West. And Houston, it's a little bit cold. Like I see the stat that they haven't won at home since July. They might have won at home the last couple of days since then. I think I say the stat on like Wednesday, but that's just amazing. Going through the whole month. I said this on ESPN. It was like it's other sports teams that usually like the soccer, the MLS team, and other little franchises there. They have won more games. Like other baseball teams has won more games in Houston than they did. So they were struggling at home, and their lead was down to like 1.5 to Oakland. So, but they had injuries as well, especially on the position player side. So maybe they get it together. But I pick Houston to get to the World Series. I still feel somewhat strongly about it, but the American League, the teams is set. Like who's going to be a factor? Oakland, Seattle, Houston. Excuse me for the yawning. Cleveland, and Yankees and the Red Sox. That's it. Like everybody else is pretty much done in the American League. Alright, let's move on to the NBA. Like I said, nothing to talk about. Melo signed with Houston. It's official. It's been official for about almost a week now. But speaking of the Rockets, their GM, Daryl Morey, came out and basically said LeBron James is the clear best player ever. I wouldn't say that it's clear, but you know, him against Michael Jordan has always been a debate people like to have. And you know about Jordan, he has the accolades, the 6 championships, just the iconic figure in the NBA. But like I said, I think LeBron is right there or close. Like I said, a lot of people take his 8 straight finals appearances lightly because he didn't win all of them, and he only went 3 and 5 in that span. But that's a major accomplishment, going to the 8 straight finals. I think that should be more chronicalized as an accomplishment instead of a deterrent, because he lost 5 out of 8, but it's still amazing to go to the finals 8 straight times. Like, to me, in my opinion, especially at this time, in this day and age. Like I said, I still would pick Jordan over LeBron, but it's slightly to me. Like, I think it's really that close. Like I said, LeBron James has exceeded my expectations a long time ago. And when I think it's playoffs, I think I want to say 2007, 2006, when they played Detroit. Like, that's when he really like captivated my mind. Like, all right, this guy's for real. You know, when he came out of Akron, out of college, out of high school, I was like, well, he'd be a decent player. You know, play for about 8 to 10 years, and be a decent player. But then after that, he'd fade away. Like, that's how I thought his career was gonna go. You know, he'd probably have a couple of few years where he's sort of elite. You know, that was my expectations for him. Like, this is not Akron, this is not high school, going against the real NBA players. But he came to the league really from day one and made his mark. But I still wasn't a believer until that moment against Detroit. Then I was like, okay, this guy's serious for real. And you compare, eye test too, but you just compare both of their games. LeBron is more, of a better passer, facilitator, but he also can score as well when he needs to. Jordan, a more pure scorer as far as his jump shot. I think defensively they sort of even. I would give LeBron a slight edge because of his physical stature. But Jordan was a very great defender as well. But to me, I don't think it's far-fetched to have this conversation. Some people was too extreme. They all Jordan or all LeBron. But to me, it's really close. And maybe LeBron, like I said, maybe if he gets to the finals this year again, Or if he win, I think he don't have to win 6, but I think if he just be still dominant for the next 5 years, I would really consider him Pastor Jordan to me as the best player ever. I really would. That's all. I said this before a few weeks ago when this topic came up. But for the NBA, that's all. You know, nothing more to really talk about there. Season's still about 2 months away. But yeah, that conversation is not far-fetched. It's not crazy, as some people think it is. Or some people just want to be heard and say LeBron, but it's hard to me to say that. I wouldn't argue with you. Like, if you really think that LeBron is the best player ever, like, I'm at the point where I wouldn't really get too much of an argument, but I will still put Jordan over LeBron. Alright, let's move on to the NFL. I had my top 5 safety list here. We're going to get to in a second. But, we're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick. He was in the news again this week. Well, basically, John Elway as well. He said something this week saying, you know, he brought up when, if y'all remember, Colin Kaepernick almost went to the Denver Broncos one year, but I remember going differently. He said Kaepernick had an opportunity, but he said no. But I think he was still under contract with 49ers. The contract was kind of tricky because he had an opt-in or opt-out clause or something. If he opted in, he got like $13 million or something like that, I believe. But San Francisco basically went in to take a pay cut as well. But Denver was willing to accept him in a trade, but they wanted him to restructure his contract and go back down to $7 million. Colin Kaepernick wasn't having that, so he picked up his option, I think, or something. Stayed in San Francisco that 1 year, and that's when he started his crusade, kneeling and stuff like that. Like I said, excuse me, it's early in the morning, so I think my eyes been all closed and all types of stuff, so I apologize. But yeah, but Elway came out and said, well, he had a chance with us, but he turned it down, and such and such and such, which I disagree with as well, sort of strongly. I mean, like I said, this subject to me is getting so old that it's annoying. Like, I am on the side, like, man, I just sort of watch football. I don't really care either way if they protest or not. Not saying I don't care about the cause, because that's the whole nother, like, to me that's a whole nother subject, and that's the whole point. Like, I think now, which a lot of people are saying, like, what's the goal? What's the end game? If you just want to piss people off, then yeah, keep kneeling and doing whatever, because that's all it's doing. Like, people are not listening anymore. They want to, me, like I said, it doesn't bother me one way or the other because it don't affect the game. So all the petty excuses about how this disrespect flag, I'm not on that side either. Because it's not. They have sort of basically a clear cautious of what they're doing, but at the same time, a lot of people don't, and that's just the reality. So you just gotta find the ways to accomplish your goals. But the protesters don't bother me. It's just that I'm tired of having to talk about it because, and then Trump says what he says. Who cares what he says? He's a clown. He's a goofball. Like I said, I just take his words not seriously at all. Even when he talked about real politics, and I'm not like I said, I'm not into politics at all. I'm not. But to me, he's just a goofball, clown, TV guy, business and white man. A goofball to me. So I don't pay him no mind at all. Like, his words don't bother me. Period. Even when he talk about the Russians and all that, he got his own issues. And the only thing I worry about is shit. Don't piss nobody off. They have to get us bombed all up. I'm in Baltimore. That's not far from DC. So just keep it cool. Just keep it cool. Be peaceful. Don't want no wars and none of that. That's all they're worried about with him, because he run his mouth too much. But other than that, man, the situation of the subject is just annoying. I just hate having to talk about it, man. But I'm all about trying to solve racism in this country, police brutality. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore. Our cops are under hot water again because one of their own basically beat somebody up on the street. You probably seen the video. It's probably all over America. The guy, well, the cop wound up resigning. Well, she was gonna get fired anyway. I mean, it's on camera. He was done, you know, obvious. But like stuff like that, the FBI been investigating. So our cops are crooked, you know, clearly crooked, like naturally. So you know, what I mean, that has to stop. That has to get fixed. So I'm not against the cause. It's just I'm tired of like mixing that with my football. I'm just gonna be real. Period. And I'm a black man. I've been in situations not bad. I get beat the crap out of or anything like that, but I have been falsely profiled because I'm black. I feel like, you know, probably I look like somebody or something like that, you know. So I've been through it at least twice in my life. So it's real, but you gotta just have other thing, you know, as far as the NFL, you just gotta go at it a different way because the kneeling stuff, you got the attention now, you just gotta take it to the next level now. That's basically all I'm saying. And hopefully this crap gets resolved. So enough of that. As far as preseason, which is about Saturday, of course. I watched a few preseason games. I've on the NFL Network they had Sam. Excuse me, not I was about to say Sam Bradford. He's on my mind. I'm talking about Sam Donald, but that was Thursday night. The Jets. I watched some of that. The Jets and Redskins. That was on ESPN. But NFL Network had the Bills and the Browns on, so I see Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw a touchdown. He looked sharp. Much more sharper this week. Baker struggled at the beginning. Then one drive when he drove Cleveland down for the field goal, he looked pretty sharp. Looked like he got himself back together in the second half. But yeah, a lot of, like I said, preseason is about seeing your excited rookies do well, sharpening your first team skills. There's more games tomorrow. I think it's some games Sunday this week too. There's a Monday night game with the Ravens and the Colts. So, but like I said, when your team struggle during the preseason, it don't mean a lot as long as it's not your first team. But as far as winning and losing, you know, don't worry about that. Like I said before, I said it 1,000 times. Just as long as your team looks sharp, your first and second units look sharp, you feel good, and whatever the score be, that's what the score be. Don't worry about the score. But other than that, let me get to my top 5 safety list. The list is a little probably I wouldn't say controversial, but this is just how I feel about it. Number 5, Eric Berry of the Kansas City Chiefs. Really, he would be higher to me if he didn't coming off that Achilles injury. Achilles is right now probably the most devastating injury now in sports, period. Because ACLs are pretty almost common now. You come back, I mean, it still take you a long time, but you basically almost, it's not a death sentence anymore with the technology that they have now. But anyway, Eric Berry to me, I say this guy played plenty of times. He makes big plays in the secondary with interceptions, turnovers, just a presence. I like his game. He's number 5 to me. He would be higher if he wasn't injured. Number 4, Harrison Smith for the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of people might think he's too low, but I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't seen him play a lot. I haven't really heard about the guy that much, so that's why he's low. But when I was looking up, doing my research about this list, he, you know, and it's other websites that does lists. He's number 1 on pretty much mostly all the lists. This guy, looking at his stats, this guy's the truth. He had a monster year last year for Minnesota. So I had to put him in this list just for that. But he's low because I don't know him personally. Not well, I want to say personally like I know people, but he just don't pop in my mind, you know, when it comes to safeties. So that's the only reason why he's so low. But I'm definitely gonna look out for him this year. But he's number 4 on my list. Number 3, maybe a little biased. I am a Ravens fan, but Eric Weddle. You know, I see a lot of Ravens games, and this guy always around big plays for the Ravens as well, especially in the secondary. He used to play for the Chargers as well. And he just always been somebody on my radar. He's consistent. So he's number 3. Number 2, Malcolm Jenkins. Number 2, sort of giving him some love, like I said. I mean, I know him. I know how the game is and stuff. But like I said, I did research. He was among the top safeties. Look at his stats and stuff. So, but he's not the first name that come to mind for me at safeties. But he's still a strong safety for a Super Bowl champion as well. And don't have nothing to do with what he's doing off the field. You know, he's doing a lot of honorable things off the field as well. But this guy can play. He's a staple of that Eagles defense. He's number 2. And number 1 to me, and I always thought, well, it's a clear number. I don't want to say clear number 1. He's number 1. Is Earl Thomas for the Seattle Seahawks. He dealing with injuries as well, but this guy, pretty much the first guy to come to my mind on the safety list. A ball hawk, just like everybody else, a big hitter, intimidating, going over the middle. Having some have a contract problem right now. I think did he show up? I think he's playing for Seattle right now. I think he showed up for camp, but he's basically publicly saying he want to trade, specifically to the Dallas Cowboys as well. So yeah. Earl Thomas, number 1. So to go back through my list, Eric Berry for the Kansas City Chiefs, number 5. Number 4, Harrison Smith for the Vikings. Number 3, Eric Weddle for the Baltimore Ravens. Malcolm Jenkins, number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. And number 1, Earl Thomas for the Seattle Seahawks. And that's my top 5 safety list. Like I said, now I'm gonna start give me a little preview of the season. It's be about, we'll say about 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. So I start looking at divisions and things like that. So I had something next week to talk about in NFL, and then, you know, preseason as well. Looking down because I'm looking at my phone because I'm about to wrap this video up, but this is episode 50 of the Solid Sports Blog. Like I said, we should have been here. I took a hiatus last year, the end of last year, due to my personal issues, moving around and stuff. So I didn't do a blog for about 6 months, I want to say. I did short videos here and there. But as far as my blog, I wasn't doing it every week like normal. But I want to touch on the number 50. You know, it's the 50th episode. So I'm trying to look up. I looked up this week 50 home run seasons, which was interesting to me. Let me get the website up. Yeah, I'm gonna go through that list real quick and give you some interesting names on that, which was crazy to me. Let me see. I think I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, I have the list. But yeah, 50 home runs at least during the season. It's happened 43 times by 27 different players, and Ruth, McGuire, and Sosa did it 4 times, and McGuire did it 4 times in a row. You know, McGuire had the record for 3 years at 70. Then Bonds came through in 2001 and hit 73, and that's still the record for 1 season. But let's go through this list. You know, Roger Maris, that's an interesting name. He did it at 61, hit 61. He passed Babe Ruth in 1927, hit 60. That was the mark for about almost 40 years. Ruth also hit 59. Ryan Howard, remember him for the Philadelphia Phillies? He hit 58 in 06. Alex Rodriguez, 57 in 2002. That's when he played for the Texas Rangers. Luis Gonzalez in 2001. That was for the Arizona Diamondbacks, the champion Arizona Diamondbacks that beat the Yankees in 7 games. That's an interesting name. Hack Wilson, I don't know who that guy is, but 1930. Ken Griffey Jr. back-to-back years of 56, 98 and 97. Mickey Mantle on this list. You know, Ruth all over this. Jose Bautista, 2010 with Toronto. David Ortiz, 54. Chris Davis, 53. David Ortiz at 06. Davis in 2013. Jim Thome. Greg Foster. Brady Anderson. That's the name I was looking for. He did it for the Orioles. I'm an Orioles fan, you know, but you know it came out that he was cheating though. Chris Fielder did it in 07, 50 exactly. Bell, 50 exactly. Greg Vaughn, I remember him for the Angels, 50 exactly. Prince Fielder's father, Cecil Fielder, 51 in 1990. Andrew Jones, I'm a Braves fan. The only Brave on this list that I know of. Other than Hank Aaron, never done it. He's not on this list, so just an interesting list. Just to be frank about 50 home runs, I just thought it would be cool to look at it. Brought back some memories. Also, I learned some stuff as well. Johnny Mize, I'm looking at the list now. Who is that guy? I don't know. You know, what year did he hit his 50 home runs? Okay, I lost his name. Hold on. He had 51 in 1940, so I don't even know who he plays for. But this is a list that's interesting. Let's move on. Basketball, I looked up 50-point games. So that's the next name we're going to go through. Well, they have how many times people have done it. Look at this. Wilt Chamberlain, 118 times. That's just crazy, man. He scored 50 points 118 times. It's just hard to believe why he's not the all-time NBA scoring champion. It's, of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but dang. And Jabbar only did that 10 times on this list. He only did score 50 points 10 times. He just was probably consistent. Like, and he played like 20 years, but still, like, Chamberlain was just dominant back in those times, man. Like, Jordan, of course, second, just 31 times. Like, it's just hard to believe this guy. Like, all the stats that Wilt Chamberlain has, he averaged 50 points in a season. Like, I did an NBA report back in high school, man. Like, my senior year, we had to do for English 4, I had to do a 20-page paper or something like that. So I chose, you got to choose your topic. I chose NBA history. And I learned a lot about the NBA. I learned about the golden years in the 50s and 60s. And Chamberlain was just dominant. Like, I just still can't believe to this day. I mean, he's still talked about in the NBA, of course, but, you know, scoring 100 points in one game, things like that. But for him not to be the all-time leading scorer, it's just hard for me to just comprehend that. Just saying stuff like this. 118 times he scored 50 points. And the next person, Jordan, he only did 31 times. It's just unbelievable. Kobe, 25 times he scored 50. Alger Baylor, 17 times. Rick Barry, 14. LeBron, 11. You know, he still was playing. AI did 11 times. Isaiah Jabbar, 10. That's it far as more than 10 times. James Harden did it 9. He's going to probably do it. Reach the over 10 mark. Dominique did it 7 times. Bernard King, 8 times. Pistol Pete, 6. Bob Pettit 6 times. Adrian Dantley 6. 5 times. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, George Gervin, Steph Curry, Jerry West. 4 times. A lot of people have done that. Melo, Moses Malone, Bob McAdoo, Tiny Archibald, which is amazing because how small he was. Damian Lillard, who's playing now, he's got 4. Malone just 4 times. Bird just 4 times. George Mikan, of course, the iconic center for the Lakers, 4 times. T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, 4 times. Shaq just 3. So a lot of people are 3. Shaq, Gilbert Arenas, Rishi Guerin, I don't know that name, doesn't ring a bell to me. David Robinson 3 times. Jamal Crawford, he's basically a glorified bitch player, but I respect him. But he basically called for the bitch. He did it 3 times. D Wade 3 times. Anthony Davis 3 times. I think he'd probably do it more. Twice. Alex English, George Yardley, remember his name. Allen Houston 2 times. Vince Carter, half man, half of me, still playing the league, by the way, twice. Phil Smith, Kyrie Irving, I think he'd probably get more before his career's over. Albert Hayes, Antoine Jameson, Jack Tywin, that name don't jump out to me. Jamal Mashburn did it twice, wow. Kiki Vandeweghe twice. DeMarcus Cousins just twice. Jimmy Butler twice. Tom Chambers, Klay Thompson, they can't get more. 2, he probably don't do it anymore. It's probably past his career. Patrick Ewing did it twice as well. Michael Redd, used to jump shooter for the Milwaukee Bucks. He done it twice. Of course, he's out the league now. Oscar Robertson just twice. That's surprising. Keem Olajuwon just twice. That's surprising to me. Golf Petrie, I don't know who that is, but he done it twice. Now, once, these are interesting names to me that done it once. Willis Reed, you know who Willis Reed is. Knicks for the center for the Knicks. Devin Booker, he probably gonna do it more for the Phoenix Suns shooting guard. But he scored 74 last year, so that's his only 50-point game. Nick Anderson did it once. Brandon Roy, Blazers. Unfortunately, how his career ended with his knee injuries. Karl Anthony Towns have done it already. Brandon Jennings. And this day, to me, like, I got a story about Brandon Jennings, man. I remember when he scored the 50 points, everybody was putting this guy on a pedestal. He's the best point guard in the NBA. I'm like, what y'all talking about? Like, y'all, guys that was older than me were saying this. I couldn't believe it. Like, this guy scored, I mean, yeah, 50 points, like, as you see this list, is a big accomplishment. But come on, like, they just put this guy already, yeah, he's the best point guard now. I'm like, is y'all nuts? Jason Kidd was still playing in the league at the time. It was like, man, I don't even get this guy, like, it's not even my top 10 point guard. I could name 10 point guards I would take over this guy. And I feel like I might have been right, because after that game, he kind of faded away. I don't even think he's in the league now, but that was nuts. Like, to keep going on this list, though, Tony Delk, he's done it once. Wow, that's surprising. Dolph Schayes, he's a Hall of Famer. He done it once. Dana Burrows, I remember when he did it back in the 90s. But he was a good player, though. John Wall once. Maybe he'll do it again. He got time. Jerry Stackhouse once. Lou Williams, he's still in the league. He did it once. I wouldn't say surprised. I just don't remember him doing that. Joe Barry Carroll, don't know who that is. Kelly Topeka, don't know who he is. Paul Pierce just once, surprising. Ray Allen just once, surprising. Cliff Robinson for the Portland Trail Blazers. I remember him do this once. Brandon Maxwell, remember him for the well, I ain't gonna say my, but I used to like those Rocket teams in the 90s. He did it one time. Phil Chenier played for the Baltimore Bullets, Washington Bullets, Wizards franchise. He did it once. David Thompson just once. Sam Jones just once. Andre Miller, that's surprising me. He did it once. Lou Hudson, don't know who that is, once. Bradley Beal, one time. Basically all these names, they did it once. Isaiah Thomas, surprisingly, just did it one time. Darrell Williams, CJ McCollum, still in the league. Terry Cummings, Kevin McHale, John Williamson, Kevin Love, Stephon Marbury, Rudy LaRusso. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, he did it once. Wow. Mo Williams, Kevin Murphy, Mike Newland, don't know who that is. Walt Wesley. Chris Webber got it done once. Dave Blaine, Freeman Williams, Fred Brown, Clyde Drexler, you know, Hall of Famer, Charles Smith. Not sure which Charles Smith that is. John Drew, Terrence Ross, Jermaine O'Neal have scored 50 points in the game. Surprising. Hal Greer did it once. Sharif Abdul Rahim, Dale Ellis, Neil Johnson, Jim Jackson done it once. Wow. Spencer Haywood, Billy Knight, don't know exactly who that is. Earl Monroe, Amari Stoudemire, Tracy Murray. I remember when he did it. It was a big deal when he done it for the Wizards. But like I said, I mean, DeMar DeRozan never scored 50 points a game. Glenn Rice just once. That's surprising. Corey Brewer have done it. Wow. Tony Parker. Joe Folks. I don't know who that is. Willie Burton. Not sure who that is either. Cedric Ceballos. I remember when he done it. Kemba Walker. He got a chance to do it more. Reggie Miller. I'm surprised he only did it one time. Ray Williams. Not sure who that is exactly. Chet Walker, Richard Hamilton did it once, and David Stoudemire. I remember when he done it once. He was playing for the Raptors when he did it, but he moved around a lot in the league. But it was just this list is very, very interesting, so I might advise you to look it up. This is from basketballreference.com. So go on that website and look that up. That was amazing. You know, that was a pretty funny list in some ways as well. So, on the other thing I want to touch on with the number 50 before we get out of here. Well, this only been done twice in the NFL. 50 touchdowns passing for a season. Of course, you know, Brady did it first in 2007. Then Peyton Manning did it. Well, he had 55 in a season. I want to say 2013. I'm about to look that up now. Oh, right here it is. Yep. Manning did it. Well, they got the age. They don't have the year exactly. Probably got to go into the website. This from ProFootballReference.com. Yeah, 2013, so I was right. Peyton Manning did it 2013. 55, which is nuts. But when Brady did it, I remember his 50th, he hit Moss on a go route. And Moss broke the record as well for receptions in the season. Touchdown receptions, I think he had 24, I think that's the record. Marino was all over this list as well. 48, yeah, that was the record for a while. Peyton Manning broke that in 04 and got 49 guys, actually one more. Breeze 46, Rodgers 45, remember in 2011. Oh damn, so Breeze, they both did the same, so Breeze had one more than Rodgers. I forgot about that. Reno again. Breeze 43, Matthew Stafford 41 in 2011. Breeze again 43 in 2012, Luck 40, Rodgers 40. So it's not even a lot of 40 touchdown passing seasons. The all-take Culpepper on this list with 39, Brett Favre 39, Manning and Rodgers again 49, Favre 38. So Favre never got 40 touchdowns in the season. And I talked about this before, like for quarterbacks all the time, Brett Favre to me, a little biased, but he's number one. Like that's the quarterback I wanted to see every Sunday. I was looking forward to watching Brett Favre. So he was my favorite quarterback growing up. Iconic to me, but of course Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Montana. I didn't see a lot of Montana, but just as his accomplishments and everything, he's on my list as well. But Peyton Manning to me, maybe because he only won 2 Super Bowls, but as far as breaking down the defense, he was something else. But that's something else I'll talk about another day. But I'm gonna wrap this video up. My 50th episode. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the love. Uh, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hopefully we do 50 more. When I get to 100, I'm definitely going to do something more bigger than what I did today. But I just thought those lists was interesting, so I'll say, well, it's around the number 50. This 50th episode. I got 50 subscribers. I really reached that this week, so that was another thing. So 50 right now is the theme for me. Hopefully we'll let it grow. But that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Enjoy your weekend. Like I said, look out when it's still dark outside. It's about 5:30 a.m. So this video a little longer than usual. But I thank you guys for hanging in there. My man Derek, I know he'll watch today. My man Don Juan, Fat Man. You know, you see him on my video game playlist a lot. But just thanks. Period. Go ahead and wrap this up. Watch all my other projects on my channel. And have a great weekend. And thank you so much. Episode 50 is in the books. Hopefully we have 50 more. I'm Troy West said thank you for watching the Solid Sports video blog right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. And have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.